Welcome to the WP Builds podcast, bringing you the latest news from the WordPress community. Now, welcome your hosts, David Wormsley and Nathan Wrigley.
Hello there, and welcome to the WP Builds podcast. I'm glad that you've decided to have a listen. This is episode number 179, entitled A Little Look at 10 Web Hosting. It was published on Thursday, the 14th of May, 2020. My name's Nathan Wrigley, and as always, before we begin, a little bit of housekeeping. I would encourage you to go over to wpbuilds.com. There you will find everything that we do. We are a largely WordPress-specific network. That is to say that we produce lots of content about WordPress. So we have podcasts. You're listening to it right now. That's every Thursday. We also have a weekly WordPress news that we put out every Monday, and we sum up the weekly news from the previous week of WordPress. And then also at 2 p.m. UK time, we have our live WordPress news as well, where I'm joined live in our Facebook group and over on YouTube, so that we can chat about WordPress with some notable WordPress guests. If that sounds good to you, you might like to head over to wpbuilds.com/subscribe. Over on that page, lots of ways of keeping in touch: newsletter subscriptions, deals, emails, so keep in touch with whenever we hear about deals coming along. Ways to keep in touch on your favourite podcast player, and as I said earlier, our Facebook group. So that's wpbuilds.com/subscribe. Another link is wpbuilds.com/deals. It's a searchable and filterable list of all sorts of deals. They're there 365 days of the year, and those coupon codes should be able to be applied at any time that you like. I keep saying it's a bit like Black Friday, but every single day of the week, because that's what it is. So wpbuilds.com/deals. You never know, you might find something that you want to have a look at. wpbuilds.com/win. We've got a competition running for about a week more. It's 5 WAS Pro licenses given to us by Michael Short from WAS Pro. You can go and check it out and see if you can win it. If you click on the buttons, you can share it on Facebook and YouTube and all of those kind of places, and increase your chances of winning. And the last one, wpbuilds.com/advertise. If you would like to have your WordPress plugin or perhaps theme put in front of a WordPress specific audience, a bit like A/B split test have done. Want to set up your A/B split tests in record time, like in a couple of minutes? Use your existing pages and test anything against anything else. Buttons, images, headers, rows, anything. The best part is that it works with Elementor, Beaver Builder, and the WordPress block editor, otherwise known as Gutenberg. And you can check it out at absplittest.com. Okie dokie. Let's get stuck into the main event this week, shall we? As I said, today we're talking about 10Web. You can find out more at 10web.io, but it's an interesting proposition. They're using the Google Cloud platform to offer managed WordPress hosting, but with a little bit of a twist. The idea is that you bring all of your websites over there and you have a central dashboard, but they also offer you the capability to do the building of the site as well, and they've kind of customized the Elementor editor and built their own custom modules which you can add in as well. Anyway, it's an interesting offering. They recently had a launch over on AppSumo, so we talk a little bit about what the platform does, how it works, and how it may help your business. Okay, I hope that you enjoy the podcast. Hello there, thank you for staying with us and getting to the interview part of the WP Builds podcast. Got a different episode for you today. We've not covered this subject before, or at least we haven't covered this product before. I'm joined today by Araksya Nalbandyan. Hello, Araks.
Hey there, very happy to be here today.
Oh, I'm delighted to have you, thank you. We had a little bit of a chat before we started recording because Araksya is here representing a company called 10Web. They've made a little bit of a splash. They launched a product over on Product Hunt, and then they also had, I suppose you could call it another launch if you like, over on AppSumo. It's called 10Web. It's very much related to the WordPress industry. But perhaps, Araksya, if you wouldn't mind, would you spend a little bit of time explaining what 10Web is?
Sure, with pleasure. So basically, 10web is an all-in-one platform for building, hosting, and managing your WordPress website. It combines every aspect that anyone needs for building and managing their WordPress websites. And the fun feature that we have is that all the websites that are hosted at 10web automatically get a Google PageSpeed score of 95 plus.
Interesting claim, yeah. So if you go over to 10, and by that I mean the numbers 10, so you go to 10web.io, you're going to find a really nice looking page there actually, and then there's a button that you can click which says start 7-day free trial, and it actually gets you straight into the experience. It's like almost zero friction. And you can see that it's kind of like a SaaS platform for having all of your WordPress sites under one umbrella. So I suppose in a way it feels a little bit like something like Kinsta or WP Engine, something like that. So let's talk around the platform and how it works. First of all, am I looking at WordPress when I'm in the dashboard, Arax, or is this like a custom built SaaS solution on top of the WordPress websites, if you like?
No, you see your custom dashboard that is designed by 10web. It's much nicer and much easier to maneuver and to have everything that you need rather than in WordPress.
Okay, so you've got a very limited arrangement of buttons, which is nice because you know less confusion. Basically, you've got a button to go to your website, so you could have, I guess, unlimited amount of websites depending on what it was that you had paid. Or there's a button to add a website. And okay, so how does it work when we add a website in? Do you then does your platform spin up some sort of Google Cloud infrastructure or architecture so that a normal vanilla version of WordPress exists?
So basically, there are two options with our platform. You can either build a brand new website, so you can choose one of our ready-made website templates and to just start building your template with our builder, which is built on top of Elementor with our premium widgets. Or you can already migrate your existing website to 10web hosting.
Okay. And when let's say, for example, I click add a website and I go for starting from scratch, I want to use your Elementor templates and what have you. Is there like some sort of lag? Do I have to wait a few minutes and receive an email or does it immediately occur?
It takes just a couple of seconds, not more than a minute, and not more than 30 seconds to upload the template. Okay. And then you're just redirected to the builder part, and you can just easily edit anything with an easy drag and drop method.
Okay, so you're using the repository version of Elementor, which is just incredibly popular and going from strength to strength at the moment. But you did mention that as part of your platform, you add in some of your own bits and pieces. What kind of premium additional features are you throwing in just from the page builder point of view, not from any other angle?
From the page builder point of view, we have created a lot of 30 plus premium widgets that combines everything that anyone will need. For example, we've added a solution that you can just edit your header from the builder part. You can use our plugins through the builder, create, publish forms or galleries there, just anything that you will need. We're adding more and more new features there.
Okay, so if I was to come along and I was to, let's say that I bought your base package, which we'll come on to a little bit later, are you sort of making the claim that essentially I could have a website up and running, and unless I had some sort of edge case feature needs, you think the platform, after clicking the add website button, would have everything that I would need? So as an example, you're going to give me things like contact forms, I suppose, things like that, and a variety of different landing pages and different options to customize those pages.
Yes, exactly. You get everything, and if you don't need something very specific, you can get it you can have your website ready in an hour.
Okay, and if I were to have something specific, because I haven't really played with it too much, and everything that I've seen looks like 10 web, but I'm pretty sure that you're going to say yes to this. There's an option in there somewhere where I can just get into the good old familiar WordPress admin and add my own plugins and themes should I wish to.
Sure. Actually, you can add plugins from 10web dashboard as well, any plugin from WordPress repository. But you can also just go to WordPress with just one. You will see that W icon on your dashboard very clearly. So you can just click it and it will take you to your WordPress dashboard.
And from that moment on, I'm back to WordPress as I fully understand it, what's the benefit in having the additional 10 web website? I mean, I know that you'll know the answer to this, but just sort of sell it to us. Why would we want to go with 10 web rather than, I don't know, a different company where we've got a different dashboard? What's the USP?
The thing is that you get everything in one place. You get your hosting, which is powered by Google Cloud. It's one of the best hostings there in the market. You get website management and you get website builders with ready-made templates. Also, you get the option of having super optimized website in just a couple of steps or instantly if you build with 10web. And you get everything from a price of hosting. You get all other things. You get premium plugins, services, website management, hosting, everything for the price that you usually pay for a good quality hosting or even less.
Okay, so you mentioned that it's using Google's cloud. Do you know anything about the sort of technical details of what it's using in Google's cloud? What kind of infrastructure hardware are we using over there? Because I know that recently, I think it was Kinsta made the announcement that they moved to some kind of like extremely optimized version of Google Cloud. So I suppose that would be a question to ask. Do you do that too?
Well, we use the fastest servers and we use the Google Cloud servers all around the world. So you need to choose a server that's closer to your actual target location. And so you will have the fastest hosting. But because if we compare with other hosting providers, because we provide everything from one place, we have the ability to assure you that your website is actually fast because hosting is only one. It's a big component, but it's only one component of a fast website.
And so let's go through these sort of additional features that you give us through Elementor. You mentioned that there were 30 of them. I'd like to sort of delve into exactly maybe it's 50. I can't remember the number that you said. What are you giving us? What are the extensions, the things that people might come and think, okay, that's pretty unique. That might swing me towards 10 web.
Oh, well, we give all our plugins because we have a lot of great plugins like Photo Gallery, Form Maker. You can all use them through our builder and Google Maps, Event Calendar, Instagram feed, Facebook feed, like everything. There are also different widgets like pricing tables, review carousels, flip boxes, countdowns, like anything that you basically need, you can find there.
I mean, if you go to 10web.io/premium-plugins, you're going to see them all there. Some of these are unfamiliar to me because, there's a gazillion plugins in the WordPress marketplace, and not all of them can be known by everybody. But did the guys at 10web, have you been developing these themes prior to launching this web hosting platform?
Yeah, actually, we've been in the plugin market for a while now, for about 10 years, and some of our plugins have very high ranking on WordPress.org, and we have one of the best photo gallery plugins out there in the world, and we have about 20 million plugin downloads.
Okay. So you've got a heritage in making plugins and things. So, for example, I'm looking at the page there, and you mentioned a few of these. There's a Form Maker plugin. Is the Form Maker something that we might be familiar with? Let's say something like Gravity Forms or something like that. Drag and drop, create your forms. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a drag and drop form, and you have different options. You can choose which one works for you, and just choose that one right in the builder.
Okay. And then you've got a photo gallery plugin, which you can make galleries with, I guess. And there's an events calendar option. You've got your own slider. Is that, again, are these all built by you, these ones?
Yeah,
Okay.
these are all built by us.
Google Maps, an Instagram feed one. There's an e-commerce one. What's the e-commerce one? Does that stand with or different to WooCommerce?
Oh, well, it's different, but we also have WooCommerce extension in the builder.
Okay, but you've got your own e-commerce solution there. Is
Yeah.
that like a lightweight version of something like
Yeah.
WooCommerce? Like
Yeah.
not quite as feature rich yet.
Yeah.
You can connect to MailChimp as well. You've got a social feed option. Then you've got things like Google Analytics. Oh, interesting. An ad manager. That's quite. What's the ad manager? How does that work?
Well, it basically helps you to track your ads on your website.
And does it enable you to put them into your posts and
Yeah,
pages?
you can easily just publish and manage and track everything with the help of the ad manager.
Okay, so there are 50 listed on that page, and you can go and check that out for yourself. Okay, let's get into sort of like the nuts and the bolts of how it all works then. So if I was to log in, one of the things that we always talk about in our Facebook group is things like backing up and making sure that things are safe. From the point of view of security, are there any measures that you take? Do you have some sort of integration with a firewall? Have you built your own firewall? Are you relying on Google's cloud? How does that work?
We have two options of backup. You have a hosting site backup, which backs up your website for the last 10 days, so you can restore it anytime if anything happens. We also do provide backup services. It's called, you will see in the dashboard, so where you can back up your website through the different period of times that we want, or for a lifetime, you can activate it so it will be backed up every hour. And you can easily restore anything if anything happens. You can save your backups using different Dropbox or Google Drive, anything.
Okay, so you will take care of backing things up. And did you say that obviously if you're using something like Google Drive, presumably you can keep the backups as long as you like, but normally, did you say 10 days, something like that?
It's from the hosting side, because we have two types of backups. We have backup service and we have hosting side backup. So you usually can use both, or you can just use the hosting side that restores stores the 10-day backup.
Okay. And in terms of the security side of things, I mean, obviously, WordPress has a bit of a target painted on its back because it's massive. Do you go to any lengths to ensure that the sites are, I'm not going to say unhackable because that's nonsense, but is there any security protocol that you have or measures that you take to make sure that they're not taken down? Are they sort of in their own little container? If one goes down, does it take any others with it? Do you have a firewall?
Because we have a managed hosting, it's way easier to keep websites secure. And we also have a security service where, for example, you have any plugin vulnerability or someone has changed your code, you will see it in your 10web dashboard, and you will see that something is wrong.
Okay. And do you, whilst it's on your platform, I know that quite a few of your rivals, they make the offer that essentially if something goes wrong and your site is hacked during the time it's on our platform, we'll take care of that and sort you out.
Yeah, sure. We do that as well. If something happens, we have our 24/7 customer support, and they will take care of that. They will contact, you can contact them if anything happens, and they will just help you out and try to find the issue and solve it.
So who's your ideal customer? Who are you going after here? Are you trying to sort of like one at a time pick up people who are playing with WordPress? Are you squarely in the kind of like agency space? Are you trying to like cater for everybody? Who's your ideal kind of customer?
Our ideal customers actually are freelance developers and marketing web agencies.
Okay, and why do you say that? What is it that you offer that would fit better for them?
Yeah, basically we offer the thing why it's a great product for freelancers and agencies, because it helps them to build and manage their WordPress websites very quickly, and it allows them to have more clients and more revenue. So they usually have to manage more than 10 websites, so it's very convenient for them.
Okay. Looking at the pricing, if you go over to 10web.io/pricing, you've got the usual array of different options. There are four different plans, one of them custom, so it's not really a plan as such. Talk us through the pricing then. You've got a personal plan, which is everything's taken care of, but it's just one website. You've got a premium plan of $60 a month, and that says 3 websites. And you've got an agency plan of 10 websites, and that's $170 a month. How do you sort of feel about those? Because they feel a little bit on the high side to me.
They are not like cheap hosting prices.
Yeah.
But considering that you get everything from one place, you get your hosting, your builder, your plugins. Usually you pay for plugin bundles. Our customers pay for plugin bundles a lot, like $100 for only plugins. In this case, you get everything. And if we consider, for example, the agency price, it's only $17 per month per website. So it's way cheaper than a lot of managed hosting companies in the market.
Okay, so let's just, because it's easiest to understand, we've got this $20 a month personal one where you've got the one website. So just to break it apart, you've got 25,000 visitors a month. You've got 5 gigabytes of SSD storage on Google's infrastructure. And then it goes up to, if you pay the extra, you get $60 a month, gives you 100,000 visitors and 10 gigabytes, which is interesting because it's double the amount of disk space, but for 3 times the price. And then you've got at the agency model 170, you get 4 times the disk space, so you get 40 gigabytes. So it's quite interesting. But anything above that, anything above 10, you're on to sort of custom pricing, and you're encouraging people to reach out and ask what the prices would be, right?
Yeah, it depends how many websites they are going to manage, and we give a custom price based on their needs. Actually, we're redesigning the pricing part, so on the custom side, you will be able soon to see how you can, if you, for example, have 20 websites and you need this kind of, so how much it will be approximately. It will be live soon.
Okay, and with the plugins, do you have a relationship with any? And I know that you mentioned that you've got dozens and dozens of your own plugins in there to accommodate things like Google Maps and Forms and what have you. Inside of this, do you have any relationships with other plugin developers, such that I don't know of, don't want to particularly name any, but do you have any that you've negotiated a deal with, so you get that as part of the plan as well?
Well, basically not as a part of plan, but in our plugin section, we have a featured part where you get, at this moment, we have 2 collaborations. We work with WebARX. They are a security service. We also work with LiveChat, the chat solution, and you have a discount when you use their services with 10web.
Okay, so no, you can't sort of come in and say, I would like Gravity Forms as part of my deal. That just isn't. You have to buy your own license and get your own.
You need to buy it, but you can use it with 10web. Any plugin you can use, but you need to buy it.
Okay, and do you have? Because this would be interesting. If let's say that you build a bunch of websites on your platform, and then for one reason or another you need to migrate those sites away, do you have repository versions of your own plugins, so that I would be able to kind of move those off your platform should I need to, or would I have to then reconfigure them all and use a different form plugin and a different Google Maps?
No, actually, you can take your website and go whenever you want. I hope you want to do that, but you can do that anytime that you want.
So to answer the question though, are there versions of those plugins that you
Yes.
provide? They're on the repo as well, are they?
Yes, they are.
Okay, that's good to know. Oh, that's great. That's really good. Okay, let's talk about the journey that you've had recently. So in April, I think you said
Yeah,
you
in the late
launched.
April.
Yeah, you launched on Product Hunt, and then subsequently you went to AppSumo. Tell us a little bit about that. What was the reason behind AppSumo? We talk about AppSumo a lot, and at the minute they seem to be very very keen to get in with the WordPress crowd. There's a lot of WordPress stuff happening over on AppSumo. Why did you decide to do that? Because I think people are always intrigued by the idea of giving a lifetime deal away, as opposed to your normal pricing, which we've just discussed. So
Yeah.
what was the point of that?
Well, basically, the first thing was that we knew that AppSumo users are mainly freelancers and agencies, so exactly our audience. And we looked at it more as as a way to get more feedback rather than to earn money. So we decided to do the deal, and it was a very huge success. We sold around 4,000 codes, and we got a lot of feedback, and we started using all that feedback to optimize our platform and create new features that were required from AppSumo users.
I think you mentioned that you actually extended the period of time that you were on AppSumo, which is quite
Yeah.
interesting. Was that just because you were getting lots of feedback and the sales just kept coming?
We were getting a lot of feedback, and because it was possible for users to get 10 codes there, they wanted to test it out and then decide to add more. So we decided to extend that time and have them get more codes.
And has the sort of growth that you've experienced there, has that enabled you to, well, change the platform? Have you made any significant changes to the way that it operates based upon the feedback that you've had since AppSumo or Product Hunt?
Yeah, actually, we got a lot of feedback. If you take a look, we have around 500 questions there, and we've changed a lot within the product. We're adding, for example, a cloning feature. We are adding a multi-site option, and we have added a lot of more possibilities in our roadmap that will be ready in the upcoming months. And all that because of the feedback that we got.
So from that point of view alone, it was really worth it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was a loss in terms of, well, you didn't lose revenue, but you've got to support these people going forward. Have you? Always an interesting question. I always think people buy these codes. Have you noticed that they've adopted using 10web, or my suspicion sometimes is that people buy things on AppSumo and then it sort of gathers dust, they forget about it and never come back. Have you actually got people, who've converted over to 10web and are using it religiously from now on?
Yeah, actually we did, and we're also we have a community on Facebook. I think you have as well, and we have like AppSumo users there, and they interact with us daily. They use the platform, they give us feedbacks, and our customer support team just chats with them constantly, and they are using the platform and they are adding more websites. There are users that have added more websites than they had initially bought codes. So yeah, they are actually using it.
And although this is a difficult question to ask, I'm going to ask it anyway. Is 10webs, are you financially, is it a secure thing? The big worry for lots of people is that, they move to a different host and they discover that, 2 years down the line they're struggling and so on and so forth. And obviously having an AppSumo deal creates an interesting picture because you've got a lot of people that you've got to support who are no longer paying. But do you have a profitable business that has regular revenue from regular customers?
Yes, we do. We have the annual recurring revenue of 1 million. So no worries on that side.
Good. Good. Okay. Because
and we have our customer base is getting bigger and bigger every month, so even every week. So no worries there.
Well, that's good to know.
We aim to stay very long in the market.
Yes.
So
Yeah. As with all things, staying around for a long time in the market requires innovation and change, and keeping up with everybody else. What's the you did mention a moment ago a roadmap. I'm interested to know, within the limits of what you're allowed to say, what it is that you're hoping to offer in the short to medium term that people might be intrigued by.
Sure. Actually, we're all about transparency. So you can see our roadmap on our website, and you can see all the upcoming features that are coming. The first one that will be here soon is the multi-site support. Then we are going to add a client management. We are going to add a reseller, dedicated IPs, CDN, and a lot of other things. Okay, and templates are growing every day.
Do you create your own templates, or are you using the ones?
No.
Just for yourself. Yeah.
We do create our own ready-made templates. They're just like websites. So you have different pages, unique designs with content. So it's all built for our users.
Okay, but you could, if you wish to, bring in any old Elementor template, and that would work just fine.
Yes. Yes, you can use any template that you want.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly look at your roadmap and just mention some of the things, because I think people are always fascinated by what's coming. So you mentioned dedicated IP support. That sounds good. Multi-site support. So that's just regular multi-site network. Are you going to be integrating that with any of the sort of like the current tools, like things like WP Ultimo, so that you could create like a WAS? Or is it just, you'll switch on a multi-site and from there you've got to look after it yourself?
Oh, well, basically we're creating our multi-site solution, so it will help users to use to do anything with their. Especially it's useful for agencies, but we're creating it ourselves.
And will you be able to do things like map your own domain names and things like that?
Actually, you mean connect your domains?
Well, yeah. So, for example, if I have my multi-site network, so that I could map a different domain name onto one of those multi-sites, and possibly one of the sub sites, and possibly then sell that, if you know what I mean.
Actually, that's not in the multi-site option, but we are working on that as well. Okay. So you can then move the ownership of the website.
Okay. And what's this client management system? This might be of interest to agency owners. What are you hoping to do with this?
Yeah. So basically, this will help the agencies to give accesses to their clients, different accesses, and manage their clients different clients from one dashboard. And for example, they can give someone access that can visit the builder, but not the payment information and different things like that.
So it sounds a little bit like something like a sort of cPanel type thing, or like a Plesk kind of thing. You can limit what they can see.
Maybe we can say something similar, but basically that you can give roles to users and to your clients, and have all your clients from agency point or freelancer point of view. They can have all the websites from one place, but they can also give their clients access to their exact website.
Okay, so this is on the 10 web side of things. This has got nothing to do with WordPress. When you say roles, I'm immediately thinking about WordPress roles. This is how much they can see of whatever it is that the platform is able to show them, like billing information. Yeah. You might be able to prevent somebody from looking at that, or they might be able to look at one site and manage one site but not another, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, and website cloning. Tell us about that. Is that going to be like a press a button, wait a few minutes, and it's just the same website, only somewhere else?
Yes, it actually, if you have already built one website and you want to build another just like that, you can just clone that website, and you will have another, like a copy of your website, a clone of your website on your dashboard. So you can edit it, for example, change images, and it will be a different website.
Okay, and is that using multi-site, or is that just a complete clone in a different container?
It's a complete cloning. a separate thing.
Yeah. What else have we got on there? Security service improvements. You're going to be adding some hardening. You mentioned WebArcs. Is your solution going through the WebArcs system, or have you got your own?
No, we have our own. We're just have a collaboration with them that if people, 10web users use WebRx, they get some discount.
And you've also got something written here about image optimization. What's the plan there?
Well, our image optimization service needs a bit, we always try to improve it, to always be able to provide the best services. So we constantly work on different services to make, for example, the process of optimizing images faster and having the better resolution, though it's really great at the moment as well.
So this is something that you have built yourself? Is
it's our services.
Yeah,
it's our own services.
So can I enable or disable that?
You absolutely can.
So I can switch it off, and if you wish to switch it on, you can switch it on. And do you retain a copy of the original image, or is it just, do you sort of like squash that and delete the old one? How does that all work?
No, actually it keeps the images, but what you can do, you can just press the auto optimize. So at the moment that you're uploading the image, your image gets optimized and you don't see any difference in the resolution. It's just the size of the image.
Okay. And how are you doing in sort of like the WordPress community? Are you kind of like attending events these days? Are you taking yourself off to WordCamps and those kind of things? Because I don't think I've seen you at any of those events as yet, but maybe you have been there.
At this moment, we haven't been at the WordCamp this year because it's been a very busy year for us with all the launches. But basically, we have our own WordPress community on Facebook, and we constantly interact with thousands of users. The community is growing. We're about 2,000. There, and it's constantly growing, and we are constantly interacting with different WordPress people in the industry, in other groups, in different Reddit subreddits, and
a million ways.
Things like on LinkedIn, everywhere online. Not on WordCamps this year, as I already told, but I'm sure soon.
Yeah. Where is your company based? I know that very often companies can be based in a different place to where they are actually located. So do you have a base in one country and you're actually located in a different one?
Well, basically, I'm currently in Armenia, but the company is based in US, in New York, and we have both in-house workers and remote workers all around the world.
How many people are on your team as we speak?
About 60.
16, 16.
60.
Wow, that's growing. Yeah. And how has it grown? Has it grown a lot during the last year?
Yeah, it's been from, I think we had additional 15, 20 people in the last year or two.
Wow, that's amazing. So you're really undergoing some rapid growth. People seem to like this idea of throwing everything into one basket and having somebody take care of it. It's a very beguiling thought, isn't it? It's a really nice idea that you just show up to one place and that's where everything is taken care of. Okay, I think I've asked everything that I wish to ask. What I would say is I'm going to just open the floor to you and say, tell us where we can find you. What's the best URLs, Twitter handles, and all of that stuff?
Sure. You can find me anytime on LinkedIn. It's my name and surname. You can just search for it. You can email me. It's rx@10web.io. You can also find me at our Facebook community. I'm very active there as well. Okay. And you can find anyone from our company there, actually. We always interact with users, all 60 of us.
I can see you, if you go actually to the top of the website, there is a link to help.10web.io. I'm in the support area. I actually was looking at the roadmap, and right at the top of that is a link to the Facebook community, so you can find it that way, because Facebook links are always a bit difficult to read out loud.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's a real pleasure. I will Well, I will certainly I hope that people take a look at 10Web and make a decision for themselves. Thank you very much for talking to me today.
Thank you as well. It was my pleasure.
There you go. Fascinating. I'm always interested in how these new platforms differ, what it is that they bring, which is in competition to the other platforms out there, how they manage to leverage different cloud hosting providers and the things that they bring, in this case Elementor and so on and so forth. So anyway, go and click on the links in the show notes if this has piqued your interest. I certainly hope that it has. The WP Builds podcast was brought to you today by A/B Split Test. Want to set up your A/B split test in record time? Well, the new A/B split test plugin for WordPress will have you up and running in a couple of minutes. Use your existing pages and test anything against anything else. Buttons, images, headers, rows, really anything. And the best part is it works with Elementor, Beaver Builder, and the WordPress block editor. You can check it out at absplittest.com. And WP and Up. 1 in 4 of us will be directly affected by mental health-related illness. WP and Up supports and promotes positive mental health within the WordPress community. This is achieved through mentorship, events, training and counselling. Please help enable WP and Up by visiting wpandup.org. Okie dokie, please stay with us during the week. Head over to our Facebook group, which is wpbuilds.com/Facebook. Join the conversation over there. Perhaps we'll see you next week for the podcast. If not, maybe we'll see you on Monday when we release the weekly WordPress news and our live. Don't forget that, 2 p.m. UK time. Okay, I'm going to fade in some really cheesy music and say bye-bye for now.